In this video, we're going to be practicing together on how to convert between compound units advanced. The reason this skill is advanced versus the one you've done previously called basic is that while basic you only converted one unit of measure, either you converted time or distance or just one specific thing, in this particular skill, they're going to ask you to convert more than one unit. So here you're going to be converting distance and you'll have to convert time as well in two separate parts. So we're going to look at these two examples together. So make sure you have a calculator handy. We will use some unit conversions. So if you have your formula sheet available as well, that will be helpful. Our first example here says, a car is traveling at a speed of 54 kilometers per hour. What is the car's speed in meters per second? And a follow-up question, how many meters will the car travel in 10 seconds? And it asks us not to round our answer. So we're going to ignore the second question, the how far will it travel in 10 seconds? We can't really answer that until we answer the first question. So starting off with the first question, what is the car's speed in meters per second? So going back to our original information, a car is traveling at a speed of 54 kilometers per hour. I'm going to set that up so it looks like a rate comparing two things, distance of kilometers and time of hours. And they want us to convert that into meters per second. Meters per second. Unknown number of meters, unknown number of seconds. So we're going to have to convert 1 hour into a specific number of seconds. That's converting our time increments. And then we're going to have to convert 54 kilometers into a specific number of meters. This is us needing to convert our distance units. Okay, so you can see there we're going to have to do two separate sets of conversions. So starting off with 54 kilometers into meters. If you look at your formula sheet, converting between meters and kilometers, or from kilometers to meters, kilo means 1,000, so we're moving 3 decimal places and we're actually moving to the right. So 54 kilometers times 1,000, 1, 2, 3, makes 54,000 meters. So 54 kilometers is equal to 54,000 meters. We've got one of our conversions done with distance, and now we need to calculate our conversions with time. So how many seconds are in an hour? Well, there are 60 seconds in a minute, and then there are 60 seconds in a minute, and then there are 60 minutes in an hour. So if we take 60 times 60, that will tell us how many seconds in an hour, which is 3,600. So 1 hour is equal to 3,600 seconds. All right, we're almost to our first answer. Our first question says, what's the car speed in meters per second? It asks per second. Well, we don't have our units in per second. We have it in 3,600 seconds. But we can pretty quickly convert that into what we would call a unit rate per 1 second. And the way we do that is we just fraction bar means division. So we're going to take 54,000 meters and divide it by 3,600 seconds. So 54,000 divided by 3,600 equals 54,000 divided by 3,600 is equal to 15 meters per second. So this is the answer to our first question. What is the car's speed in meters per second? 15 meters per 1 second. And then it asks a follow-up question, which we can address now. How many meters will the car travel in 10 seconds? Well, if it travels 15 meters in 1 second, it will travel 15 times 10 in 10 seconds, which is 150 meters. So in 10 seconds, our follow-up answer is that it will have traveled 150 meters. Let's take a look at a second example. A parachutist's rate during a free fall reaches 135 miles per hour. 135 miles per 1 hour. It wants to know, what is the rate in feet per second? What is the rate in feet per second? Follow-up question, which we'll address later. At this rate, how many feet will the parachutist fall during 5 seconds of free fall? In your computations, use the fact that 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet, and don't round your answer. So again, this will be found on your formula sheet, but nice that they gave it to you as well. All right, so you can see here again, we're going to have to do two sets of unit conversions, one for distance, getting miles to feet, and one for time, converting hours to seconds. The good news is that we've already converted hours to seconds. If you back up over here, we found that 60 times 60 is 3,600 seconds is equal to 1 hour. So instead of calculating that again, we'll just transfer that over. And then we need to convert 135 miles into feet. They're telling us that there are 5,280 feet in every 1 mile, and we need 135 miles worth of feet. So in your calculator, you're going to take 5,280 times the 135 miles. And that gives you 712,800 feet, which goes up here. So 135 miles per hour is equal to 712,800 feet per 3,600 seconds. Like we did before, they're not asking us in per 3,600 seconds. They're asking us what is the rate in feet per 1 second. So we have to whittle this rate down into a unit rate, how many feet per 1 second. And we'll do that by dividing the fraction. So 712,800 divided by the 3,600 seconds gives us 198 feet per second. This is the rate at which the parachutist falls in feet per second. The follow-up question asks, how far will they fall in 5 seconds? So we'll be taking 198 feet times the 5 seconds of free fall, and 198 times 5 is 990 feet. So answer to follow-up question is that that person will have fallen 990 feet in those 5 seconds. I hope going through a couple of these examples has been helpful, and use those notes in your formula sheet to help you as you work through your problems on your own, and be sure and ask your teacher if you have any questions. Thank you.